Hi there, James Savage from National Club Golf at Oulton in Leeds today. Wanted to bring you a first look, if you like, of the brand new Cobra F9 Speedback fairways and hybrids. Really cool clubs, this from Cobra. I think this is an area that they've really excelled in recent years. But what can we tell you about the F9 Speedback? Well, we're not going to tell you too much because these clubs aren't available to buy until January. But we did catch up with Jose from Cobra at their launch event recently. We have hit the product, we'll give you a little bit more on that later. But let's go and speak to Jose, find out about what cool technology Cobra put into these fairways and hybrids. Okay, so I'm joined by Jose, and we're just taking a closer look at the Cobra F9 hybrids and fairway woods. Again, we've got some striking, colour options, but just to summarise some of the key points of the technology. Obviously, visually we can see the rail technology on there. Just tell us how you've tweaked these models compared to maybe the FA fairways and hybrids, and how are these going to hit it further and more consistently than before?
Absolutely. So they share some key technology between them. That's why we're talking about them together. The rails is something that's shared between the fairways and hybrids, and what rails do for you as a golfer, it helps you negotiate the turf interaction. So if you hit it slightly thick or slightly thin, these rails really help your turf interaction, helps keep the leading edge out of the ground, which is going to give you more speed and more glide through impact. They both have rails. The 3-wood I'm holding here has the thinnest of the rails. Because we know the attack angle is only about 3 degrees, we know we can have a shallower rail here because you don't attack it very steeply. As we move to the 5-wood and into the hybrids, notice this rail is a lot thicker because we know your downward attack angle is going to be steeper. We're going to give you more rails, more bounce around the leading edge to help prevent that leading edge from going into the turf. They both also share a new type of weighting we're calling speed back weighting. What used to be tucked into the head, we're now making proud. Because of our studies on how rails interact with the turf, we know we can bring these weights a little closer to the rails in height, and it'll make the CG of the product go lower. Low CGs and fairways and hybrids, like your driver, are going to give you more speed through impact, letting you hit the ball further than ever before. Now, one thing about this hybrid that is different, about this fairway that's different from this hybrid, is like the driver, this fairway for the first time ever has a CNC milled face. Like the driver, that gives us the ability to create this face thinner, faster, and more consistent. So now we not only can have more speeds on center and off center, but we can also give you off center hits that have the perfect curvature in roll or in bulge that help you direct your shots back to the center of the fairway, or if you're using it to hit the green, towards the center of the green or your target, because the curvatures are perfect because we're CNC milling.
What I find particularly interesting with the fairway and the hybrid, and it is kind of touching back on these rails. I think that even now among sort of handicapped golfers, there can be a little bit confusion on how to hit hybrids or how to hit fairway woods. Like, do I hit down on them? Should I be sort of like hitting up on them, picking up on the surface? But I think that these rails are really sort of saying, well, if you're using a hybrid, you need to be hitting down on it like an iron, and the same with a fairway, you do need to be hitting down. And I guess these rails can maybe help people figure that out in their head, that they don't have to be afraid of the turf,
Right.
Like they don't have to feel like, well, I just need to pick this ball away clean because I don't want this club going into the ground. These are actually going to help people hit these clubs in the way that they're designed to be hit. Is that right?
It's so true. There's a saying, it's white and round and it sits on the ground, yet it's so hard to hit in the air when it comes to your longer clubs, right? Let's be clear. Every club except for your driver and your putter needs to be struck down on, because the loft of the club is what does the work. You don't need to help it in the air, right? So when you talk about these hybrids, they're made, to your point, to be hit downward like an iron. And even this fairway, this 3-wood only has, 13 to 16 degrees. The average tour strike, which everybody uses as the way to go, is about 3 to 3.5 degrees. As shallow as 1 degree, as steep as 4 on tour, but always downward.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see, and I think it's something that players can get a little bit confused about. But I think hopefully things like this will, like I say, make them not be afraid of that turf, hit down on it, and they'll see better results. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, which I think is one of the real success stories of the last couple of years of Cobra equipment. Is we've got the one length irons, which, as you know, I play one length irons and I'm a big fan of, and we've got the one length hybrid. Just tell us a little bit about the success of the hybrid in the one length option.
We chased this product line the entire year. Our forecast was not nearly as high as it needed to be. We increased it 5 times globally because we kept running out of these. Not only are the one length guys picking it up, but guys who are variable length irons who are looking for a change, whether they can't hit their long irons or they can't hit their hybrids that's variable length, some of them are trying this hybrid. Why is it so easy? Well, it's 7-iron length. It's 7-iron lie angle. You just put it in the 7-iron position and swing like an iron, meaning hitting down on it. You're going to be more centered because it's shorter, but because we're weighting this head up heavier, it's even more forgiving. Has CGs that are even lower, so it really gets the ball up in the air and gives you that distance that you're looking for in those longer clubs, which has been great. So the one length truly is a good answer for not just one length users like you, but even variable length guys like me that may be struggling. This is a great iron. You know, one of the secrets that nobody talks about that I've been approached about by a lot of golfers who've bought this hybrid is they talk about that around the greens. If you're somebody that struggles around the greens with your chipping, this hybrid doesn't dig. So a lot of people have been talking about they use it in putter type of stroke on it, and it bumps it in the air and chips it on the green. So if you have the yips with your wedges, this could be another answer for you.
Yeah, it's no surprise that it's been very popular. So it'll be interesting to we'll come back to you with some numbers, some data, maybe comparing the performance of the hybrid in the 7-iron length compared to to one in the variable length. But like I say, another exciting product here as part of Cobra's F9 range. Okay, so thanks to Jose for explaining a little bit more of the details in these F9 fairways and hybrids. We tested them out at the launch. We did get some launch monitor numbers, but we're not going to be bringing you that data until later on when these products are available to buy. But what I can tell you is I was a massive fan in particular of that Tour 3-wood. I really enjoyed hitting that club. That was probably on the day that the club that I enjoyed hitting the most. And as we've touched on before, I'm a massive fan of this one length hybrid. So fun, so easy to use. I think lots of players could benefit from giving that one a try. So post your comments below if you've got any more questions about the F9 hybrids and fairways. If you want to know any details, more details on the tech or the specs, SRP, shafts options, please post them below. We're looking forward to bringing you our more in-depth reviews of these clubs, but in the meantime, just hit us with a comment below if you want any more information. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.